My mom lives with us.
Good job.
About 6 months ago, my dad tragically died. We were boating and he was out on a jet ski. He had fallen off and he ended up bleeding under his skull. And so the kids saw us trying to perform CPR. It was just very, very hard for the kids. Want to see pictures?
They are all going through such severe grief at the moment. Rick's death was a sudden shock, and he died at such a relatively young age. I mean, it's understandable that it's made such an impact on this family.
Sis. Yeah, you want some Pappy's candy?
Yeah.
Oh, yes, Daddy.
A big part of us is so concerned about the kids remembering my husband and their Pappy.
Who is that? Who is that?
Pappy.
To watch Charity with Elijah upstairs was definitely a place where you just kind of felt she's really feeling it.
Is this Pappy outside? Yeah. You see that one? Oh, you love Pappy.
She doesn't want Elijah to kind of forget who he is, but the reality is he's so young, and I just don't want Elijah to grow up feeling like he's conditioned to kiss photos if he wants candy.
Pappy loves you too.
It was a tricky situation to be in for me to see that. So it's got to be dealt with very sensitively and very directly too.
We're good. Okay.
There's no doubt when I walked into this house that it was obvious that all of you as a family are undergoing a grieving process. Your father-in-law, your husband, passed away all but 6 months ago, and you are all going through that grieving process. It's having its ups and downs, because grief will throw you upside down and every which way it can. And I can tell you that from personal experience losing my mother. Yesterday, Charity, I saw little Elijah and he said, "Candy." As we were upstairs, he said candy. And he kissed the photos of Grandpa, and then you gave him candy. If Grandma gives Elijah candy because Grandma has earned the right to give him candy, and it's okay, let it be for that.
I never put the two together, that the candy was just Rick had a candy jar and gave the kids candy out of it. So I was trying, because he's not going to be able to.
You know, that's all part of the process of you personally grieving. He's not going to be there for the first Christmas, the first birthday, the first anniversary, you know. I hear you. It's true. If these kids start to behave better, it's going to lessen the stress that the Addis family are already feeling because of the loss of losing Rick. Also, these kids are grieving too, and they've been affected by the other members of the family grieving. So that was my next step, to give these kids a way to grieve and remember their granddad at their own pace. Pirates used to keep things that were very valuable to them in these treasure chests. And it's exactly what we are going to do. We're going to keep objects and things that create fond and happy memories of Grandpa. It allows the children to process grief in their own time and allows the adults to recognise that these kids haven't forgot who Pappy is, but they need to be able to heal in their own time, in their own space. This is great. Look at all these lovely little things you've collected that you've remembered for your chest.
They did have a lot of fun with them. They enjoyed going on a little treasure hunt to find things that reminded them of of their Pappy.
These chests will grow as the kids do and become older as well. And there'll be little things that they'll add to that and little things that you guys will add to that as well. And when they're ready, which is most important, they will go and have a look at their chest. What is it with the cars?
Because I remember him doing a lot of stuff at Daytona.
Spent a lot of time with my dad out at the racetrack. It just became a true part of who our family, what we did.
Did Pappy go up in that as well?
Yeah.
He did?
He loved that game.
Did he?
And
I don't remember the last time that we were able to get through some stories or whatever without crying about my dad. So they felt good to laugh and remember and it to be a happy time.
Before I left, I had one place that I wanted both Leslie and Charity to go. So I left a note, and in that note, it had what I had in mind. It's important that grief is respected, and I wanted to give them a chance to be by themselves, alone.
Dearest Leslie and Charity, I want the both of you to know your love for Rick will create the fondest of memories that will be treasured and remain forever in your hearts. One of those
memories you both hold dear was spending time at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. His passion for Indy 500 was so great that he worked for the company that made tyres for the race cars. So in honour of Rick, I want you both to go back to the Speedway for a special tribute to the man who loved to be called Pappy.
Spent a lot of time with my dad out at the racetrack. He was a huge IndyCar fan.
He brought you here by himself, so that was one of the times he tried to do one-on-one time.
The Indy 500 is a huge part of our family's tradition. We've been doing it for generations.
Hi, I'm Marco Andretti. Very nice to meet you.
You are.
I'm standing there in front of this Indy race car and around walks Marco Andretti. And, you know, if you're a race fan at all, you know who the Andrettis are because they've been racing forever.
My dad has taken us here for as long as I can remember.
That's great. In memory of Rick, this is what we like to present to you guys.
When Marco Andretti handed us the plaque that was presented from the Indianapolis Motor Speedway and had in memory of Pappy on it, I was just completely blown away. For Joe to have thought of doing that for us, it was just all so very overwhelming.
And also, tickets to the 2008 Indianapolis 500. No problem.
To be able to keep that tradition going, you know, for our family. And that just meant so much. And it's, you know, coming from a family who can appreciate, you know, generations of the Indy 500. There just aren't words to describe what that meant.
Well, that's great.
Just absolutely awesome. Thank you all so much.
My pleasure, my pleasure.
Walking out on the track with my mom was bittersweet. You know, lots of memories of being there with Dad and just the reality that that's not how it is. But at the same time, you know, the sun was just shining and I just thought, you know, Dad's happy. Dad's really happy.